Oh,
life.
yeah. Well, I've always planned out my life. When I was in middle school, I planned that I was going to be a marine biologist that was going to live in Queensland, Australia specifically.
So what happened? Why did that not happen?
I grew up and then I got really into psychology, and then I thought, well, I could get a double major in biology and psychology and get a specialization in neuroscience. And then I paused on that because I was saving up money. I did have a 75% scholarship at the time, so that paid for 75% of like my tuition, but I still needed the other 25%.
And then I'm assuming that didn't cover housing either.
Yeah, it didn't cover housing. And with that, as I was saving money, Camming created a business for me that became a lot more profitable.
Chasing that almighty dollar, the American dream. I mean, that's the beauty of sex work is it does allow for upward mobility.
You know what? In a lot of ways, it did help me and my dreams. Because I ignored a lot of things to go into neuroscience and biology. I sold, I had like gotten a previous scholarship actually in art. I had gotten like a several $1,000 photography scholarship so that I could get camera gear and things like that. And I actually ended up using it to buy books for college. And when I got into camming, one of my fans bought me a really high grade camera that I could use.
What did he get you? What did he get you? I'm a little bit of a gearhead, so what did he get you?
Well, I can say I now have a Canon Mark IV 5D.
Ooh, very nice.
Yes. And I also have like a brand new Wacom Cintiq.
Very nice.
Yeah, and they were all gifted by fans that really care about that other artistic side of me. So, as much as people say that porn closes doors for you in certain business aspects, porn opens up a lot of doors that I don't think other people are ready to consider.
Oh, 100% porn opens a lot of fucking doors.
A lot.
But as I was talking about earlier, it does have, it's not like there are trade-offs for it.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, hey, here's my wonderful life of pornography and backstage passes and free shit.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not a wonderful life. There's so many wonderful things about it, but I can say all of the glamour that people think are like luxuries are actually just things that we have to do for work. Like people like to joke, especially on TV. It's the trope about, oh, I've got to get my nails done. Getting your nails done actually hurts. It's not something that many of us just enjoy. It doesn't feel super good. The ladies that like give you your pedicures aren't always like the most gentle, things like that, And self-care is something that I think everyone can relate to as something that's very hard. And you still have to keep up in terms of self-maintenance every day. It's something that people would expect to be very easy. But it's really a ritual that you have to get used to.
Well, and people also overlook the fact that like on a normal civilian job, if you're having an off fucking day, you can still show up to work and possibly, make your way through it.
Mm-hmm.
You show up to set on an off fucking day. People are going to talk about it and it's being fucking filmed. There is record of your off fucking day.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting point. Because if you're, I've actually thought about this on set. Because if you have a cold and you're feeling shitty in the office, that's one thing. You can still get your work done, but you can't go on set if you have a cold. It's just like you can't go on set if you're sick. Also, if you're feeling down and out, you cannot show any of that on camera. You have to change all of your facial expressions. You have to change your entire demeanor. You become someone else in order to fit into a specific type of fantasy, in order to fit into an ideal. And if you're in pain, sometimes there are a lot of very like uncomfortable positions. You immediately transition to make it look as if it feels like the best thing in the world. And I love being able to do that because I see it as a challenge and it's extremely fun for me. But, it's definitely not going to feel the best.
Oh, it's not. It's not. That's why part of the reason the job's hard. You get into a fight with your significant other before you come on set. You gotta hide that shit. You gotta.
Oh, yeah.
Not everyone in this business does a great job of it sometimes. I mean, you've been on 70 plus sets at this point. I'm sure you've had some people show up and not in the best moods.
Oh, yeah. I've definitely seen those. I'll never get into detail about like the specific things that happen on those types of sets because I feel like everyone's privacy is so important. But I do notice, when my partner on scene is having a rough time. And I feel like it's also important to be there for your scene partner because of that. I feel like one of the jobs is almost therapy with your other person if they're having a rough time. Like if they're having a hard time getting to completion, I always maintain physical contact if that's something that they need, and I maintain eye contact and I'm there with them.
What if the eye contact freaks them out?
Then we don't make eye contact. Because, it's not everyone's thing. You kind of have to experiment to see what really gets them off. I love asking them, especially just, hey, what makes you feel the best so that, I can be there for that and make you feel the best.
Have you gotten any weird requests? Not to kink shame anyone, I'm just curious.
Like, I don't really see it as weird. I know other people would see it as weird. Like,
okay,
some guys have had to sniff my armpits.
Why did that just come to my mind? That's literally what I was thinking of.
Yeah, like they'll like I've had guys that will like sniff or lick my armpits as a thing to get them off. And I think that that's really biologically it makes sense to me because it's pheromones. It's not something that I'm used to, but I think that it's perfectly normal.
No, I mean, I'm not, as I said, I'm not here to kink shame. Like,
yeah.
It's not anything it's not anything I would consciously be like, yeah, I'm going to lick some armpits today. Mm-hmm. But I've done some, wild shit in the heat of the moment. Like, I wouldn't put it out of the realm of like possibility of like, oh yeah, in the heat of the fucking moment, look at an armpit. Mm-hmm. And shit, I definitely one partner years and years ago, like it's her and I still talk about this day. I definitely like bit like not her calf, but like just like the side of her leg was like heat of the moment shit. You never know.
You know what? I was reading a romance novel years ago and they talked about like biting the thigh. And I always wondered, like, is that a thing that people actually like? But I noticed though that your inner thigh can actually be very sensitive. So sometimes there are certain guys where if they're very close to coming, all you have to do to really get them to the edge is run your fingernails up from like the edge of their knee down into the inner part of their thigh. And as you get closer towards the groin, they really like get close to coming. It's like it builds up a sensation that makes it easier for them.
The more you know, folks.
Yeah. Sex tips.
I had never heard that one.
Sex tips with Leana Lovings.